Now, if you're a solo creator that's looking to step up the video quality of your recordings by creating some more dynamic movement, but doing this on your own, be it because you're a content creator on YouTube, or let's say you're a realtor in trying to, let's say, talk about a kitchen like I am here, then you'll want to check out this video, because today we're going to be talking about the PIVO Max. And the PIVO Max gives you that virtual recording experience that you see right here. I have a virtual assistant that is literally tracking all my steps as I move around in this kitchen, and it's keeping me in frame. Not only that, but as I'm walking around and it's maintaining eye contact or face contact with me, it's going to continue to zoom in and zoom out to be able to bring me into the best video experience for the person that I'm recording this content for. Now, this is going to work not only in a landscape format as you see here, but if I were to switch the phone and have it in a portrait, which is more for like an Instagram or let's say a TikTok video, you'd be able to do the same thing. And all this is possible based on this little device. So let's talk about it for a second. So first of all, the PIVO Max gives you 360 face and body tracking. So as I move to the left or to the right, it's going to track, and it could focus either on my face if I tell it to, or it can focus on my body. In addition to that, this ring that you see here is currently blinking red on the PIVO that's recording this session, indicating that it's in recording mode right now. Now, in addition to the tracking, we talked about auto zooming, so it's going to adjust automatically depending on the distance that I'm in. It has a 25,600 milliamp hour battery that not only will power the PIVO, but it's also going to be useful to charge other devices at the same time that you may have connected. You can expect about 10 to 12 hours of usage out of this. Now, this is going to work with smartphones. It's going to work also with cameras. It's going to work with tablets as well, so you can connect this to a tablet if that's something that you'd like to do. And it does have 6 tracking speeds that allow you to give you a lot of flexibility. And you're going to see as I'm walking through our kitchen and moving over to this side, how the camera continues to track me despite some of the obstacles that may be in front of it, like what I have here for this sink. So we'll go ahead and move over to the right so you can see more of the features. It does have a app ecosystem, a lot of different apps. It has PIVO Plus, PIVO Play, PIVO Cast, PIVO Live, PIVO Present, PIVO Studio, and then it has something that's called PIVO Tour, which gives you the ability to make videos of homes or do like 360 videos for real estate type photography and for posting. So a lot of features. So what we're going to do next is we're going to go back into our studio. We're going to take a closer look at the PIVO solution. We're going to look at the app ecosystem so that you can see why this may be your next virtual camera person. Now, when you receive your PIVO, it's going to come with several accessories, so let's check it out. So a couple things you'll get is your PIVO, and you're going to notice this mounting solution. And I'm going to show you some options that I went through to get the shot that I just showed you. You will also then have a remote control that's going to allow you to control the PIVO, and then you have a USB-A to USB-C cable. Right? Now the remote is going to give you some capabilities when it comes to focusing, controlling the PIVO, pausing the recording. So this is a real nice remote solution, especially if you're using a smartphone, right? We're going to put this to the side. Now this is what the PIVO Max looks like, and you'll notice that it has a ring around it, and this ring is going to change various colors depending on the state of the PIVO. You have here USB-C cable connection, you have your power button here, right? And then you have here a accessory port, right? And this is, again, another port here for with USB-A or USB-C coming out. And then on the very bottom, you basically have your thread that you can put this on a fixed tripod or any other type of solution. Especially like if you're going to use this, even you could use something like this even for some podcasting if you wanted to, for Instagram, TikTok, that kind of stuff. You could definitely use this as well. Now in this area here, you do have the ability to connect a tablet or a phone, right? So if I were to grab, for example, this phone here, I could put it like this, and then it's going to turn it around, right, as it is basically, again, taking that picture. You could also put it like this, right? In my case, it's a little bit on the thicker side, but then it would do the vertical version, right? You could also remove this because it just twists right off. And let me show you what I have with this one right here. So here what I have is a camera mount. And I chose to go with this one for one specific reason. One thing that I found, if I use this one, is that depending on how I have things set up here, I was concerned about the mics. I was concerned about having a mic and how the mic would interact with this base, depending on where I had my position for my phone. So what I liked about this option that you see right here is that I'm able to put a standard mount on this and put my phone here. The other thing that I got, which is extra, is that I get also cold shoe mount. So if you want to be able to connect a mic right here, a boom mic, you could do that as well. So that's going to give you a lot of flexibility that you would not have if you were just using this solution alone. This by itself is going to work fine, right? But I like the flexibility that we have. So a lot of features when it comes to how you saw the action, and literally what you see here is just having a virtual camera person that is going to track you and move with you as you are taking any kind of recorded video. Now there are several apps within the PIVO ecosystem, and there's literally almost one for every situation that you could have. So here what we're going to do is we're going to look at the one that I was using, and what you'll see here are a couple options, right? So I have the PIVO connected, and that's why you see it lit up in white now, just ready for action. And what I could do now is I can hit the plus sign, and when I hit the plus sign, right, it's going to determine what should it do. So right now it's going to it's right now looking at my back-facing camera, which is something that you could do, and that I prefer because it has the highest resolution. But what you can also then do is switch it to the front-facing camera, and you can see that now that it has my front face in view, it's trying to focus on me. And then as I move to the left or to the right, you'll notice that the PIVO is also moving because it's kind of keeping track of me. It's doing a really nice job. Now over here you have a couple options. You can either focus on the face, on the body, right? On, you know, if you had a horse, you know, they use this a lot for that kind of stuff. Animals like your dog, and you wanted just to track your dog because you're doing something with your dog, you could do that as well. Or you could do no tracking whatsoever. Now in addition to the video option, you do have photo, right? And you can see that right there, and that's also going to try to, you know, make sure that it tracks you. You notice how as I'm moving left to right, it's doing that. If I do video mode, which is what I was in, you have a conference mode, which is kind of the meat that you see there. You also have where you're using it as a webcam, and you have various settings that you can configure. Again, like I mentioned, there's even a version of this where you could use this as a for realty, or like for example, if you wanted to do a 360 of a home where you can actually put your camera into the PIVO, and not only can you go and do your recording about, you know, this is a property recording describing the details of the property, but then what you could do is with the same device do a tour of the home by just putting the PIVO in a room on a tripod and having it record a 360 view of the space. It's something really common that you see right now in realty. Now, as I mentioned, there are a lot of products in the ecosystem that you can choose from. You notice you have PIVO Play, right? Video made easy. PIVO Cast, smartphone as a webcam. PIVO Present, you know, for presentations. PIVO Tour, which is the one I'm really excited about and we're going to test. This is for homes, right? If you're going to do any kind of real estate. PIVO Live, right? And then also you have PIVO Studio. And again, this is if you want to take 360 photos for online stores. Tutorials, connectivity, a lot of options when it comes to how this works. So what would I say about the PIVO? Would I recommend this product? Absolutely. I think it's a great solution, not only for beginners, but also even for advanced users that are looking to have a virtual camera assistant with them at all times. I think this is going to be a great add-on to how we create content. Nilda for sure is going to use it, and we'll use this for Instagram, TikTok, even some of the YouTube videos where we need some movement like you saw earlier. And then if you are a professional that is in some form of, you know, real estate and you need to be able to take videos of yourself and you're by yourself, this is definitely the way to go.